Big screen. Are you at work right now?
Yeah. By the way, I started recording.
Okay, sounds good. So tell me how you do this. So do you just go through questions, or do you
I'm learning on the go basically now.
cool.
Like I looked at
Do you
the
do you know how to edit? Say we go off on a tangent.
uh
Would you edit that part out?
probably not.
Okay.
Because I feel like that's part of like the whole thing, like the authenticity about it,
Sure.
and really just making it up as we go along.
I hear you.
Because have you seen? Well, I finally saw Joe Rogan's podcast because I heard he's a big deal in the podcast world. So, have you checked out his studio?
No, I have not.
It's not that great, but the biggest picture of it is, um, he's been doing it for what 10 years, and I don't know. I feel like that's why the biggest thing is like that's why he's the biggest because he's constantly like doing it, and he started it a long time ago, and he enjoyed it a long time ago.
Yeah, he did. I've listened to some of his podcasts, but I don't follow him religiously, I would say. I haven't listened to every one of them. Paul has
What kind of podcast do you listen to?
all sorts of different ones. Let me look here. I don't listen to them that often, so I don't know them off the top of my head.
Mm-hmm.
How was your day today?
It's good at work. The only bad thing is an employee called off like 20 minutes before going into her shift, so that's why I'm late. Yeah.
That's understandable. No problem.
But yeah, I looked up how to do podcasts over a Skype call, and they're like over a video call, and they said Skype was the easiest one because it gets the audio from the computer and whatnot,
Mm-hmm.
and it has the option of like start recording
Nice.
instead of screen recording or whatnot.
Okay. Well, good deal. I hope it works out well and compiles okay. How's the lighting on my side? Because I could let me try to change up the lighting here real quick, okay? Because it looks awful in my corner, but yeah, give me a second. Is that too much?
Either way works. Wait,
Okay.
are you in the basement right now?
Yeah. So
that's a
this
big
is where I'm
basement.
at.
Is that your grandpa's place?
Yeah, man. Yep. Living in my grandfather's basement right now.
Oh.
I
Give me
I'm not
the
doing
Spark
boot
Notes
camp.
version of what's up in your life. What's new? What's old? What's going on?
Okay, what's new? So I'm wrapping up this coding boot camp. I'm gonna be completed with the coding boot camp here in less than a week, and I've learned a ton. Learned a ton of information in the past 3 months. I think for the most part, I've just gotten really good at problem solving. Like overall, big picture, just I've increased my ability to just diagnose and analyze problems much better. So that's been interesting, and I've gotten really good at using computers. And I can code all sorts of JavaScript and React and Angular, and I can work on the front and the back end.
What got you into coding? Or what language are you learning?
JavaScript.
Okay.
Yes. So JavaScript it mostly focuses on the front end, but you can use something called Node.js to build servers on the back end.
Okay.
And I'm working on. Got some pretty cool projects built out. I'm gonna try to make some more and keep building.
What have you been working on? Like what kind
recently?
of project? Yeah.
Recently, I just finished my project with the Angular framework. And so that project encompasses a coffee website. So we made a backend that has all sorts of endpoints for our users and for our coffee reviews. And so the website can allow users to read and write and update reviews on particular coffees. And then we added a buy now button in order to send those copies to the cart. Now, this is not a actual commerce website. It's simply for practice. So we added the buy now button and passed the data into local storage and then pulled it out from local storage in our checkout page. So that way we can get the data from our coffee to the checkout page. So pretty basic setup, but it works and it's fully functional. We can delete reviews and update them.
Dude, I remember I was a CS major when I first started. That's how I met Mark.
That's right.
We were both CS majors, and he kept with it. I was like, nope, I'm out.
Dude, it is really tough. I did not understand how complex this was gonna get, and it got real complex real quick.
And those Purdue classes, they make them hard to weed you out. Like,
I'm sure.
The weed out class.
Shouldn't they want to encourage more people to like stay with it and get really involved with coding and computer science? I don't know. I don't really understand why they would want to weed so many people out. Like,
I guess it makes that that degree that much worth it. Like, they know only the best can get through it.
more exclusive.
If everybody gets one and not all of them are great coders, it kind of like might have like a bad stain towards that Purdue degree.
I see that point. I can understand that. How's Mark doing? Have you stayed in touch with him?
He moved in with his girlfriend. He's had a girlfriend for like about probably it suck, probably like 2 years or something, a year and a half, probably 2 years now.
Moves.
Yeah, he's living with his girlfriend, and they got a dog together. What is this?
They're gonna have babies and a family here soon, and before you know it,
Sawyer is getting engaged. Sawyer's engaged. Sawyer.
Oh yeah, I saw that. That's awesome.
He's getting married next year.
I saw that coming too. Those two are so good together.
Oh my goodness. Like, life is going by so quick. And then, what, your brother's in Virginia?
Yes.
And your sister's going to California?
Yep, San Francisco. Yeah,
San Francisco.
I think
those rent prices over there will be tough.
That?
The rent prices?
Yeah.
In San Francisco?
About it. I told her to just give it a good try for a year or two, because this is a good opportunity of her life, you know, to try something new and different and a little bit risky, like living in a big metropolitan city that's really expensive. I just told her to go for it because this was a good opportunity to try it. In a few years, I don't think she'll want to live in a big city. I don't think she'll want to pay real high rent. You know, I think she'll want to do something else, and I'd be surprised if she still wants to at that point.
Does she like Chicago?
Yeah, she does. She loves Chicago.
Yeah, because if she loves Chicago, then she might want the city life. I guess we'll see.
Possibly. Yeah, who knows? I mean,
because that's crazy. I reminded her about the first time she ended up tailgating with us.
Oh, man.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't tailgating. It was before her concert.
Yeah. Dude, I was actually just thinking about that because I drove through Purdue the other night.
Uh-huh.
I was going out to ride my dirt bike, and for whatever reason, I was thinking of that night too. Yeah, that was so stupid of us. Like that was crazy.
There was a TikTok that simulated that storyline of hype them up, like, yeah, you go for it, and then you see like the turn of events, and then it's like downwards. And she's like, it was 6 years ago. That was insane.
Yeah, was it really? Wow! Oh my God, so much has happened since then.
Bro, you've traveled the world. Where have you gone?
Europe, Asia, Southeast Asia, India, and maybe someday later down the road, I'll check out South America.
Cool.
Like a couple decades down the road, maybe like after I do the whole family thing, I could take a motorcycle through South America.
Okay, so what was that switch from like wanting to travel the world to be like, okay, time to go back to Indiana? Like, what was that? Or you just like, what happened? Those two different types of like mentalities, like wanting to explore the world to like, okay, I think I'm good for now.
Yeah, I just kind of got to this point where I didn't feel like continuously traveling was necessary any longer. Everything that I know and love is here in Indiana. And as much as I don't necessarily appreciate everything about Indiana, it's still a really great corner of the world, and I have found so much more appreciation for it since coming home.
Oh, that's interesting. Having to go like outside the place to actually appreciate where you're from.
Majorly. When I was graduating from Purdue, I wanted to get out of Indiana so bad. I got that job in Colorado as a lift operator at a ski resort quickly, and I'm glad that I did because it was an awesome 4 months where I just got to ski all the time. That was wonderful. That was such a fun job. It got me out of Indiana, and like I think 6 months after that, I started traveling through Europe, and then I came back home and worked as a sales rep for another 6 months, and then went back to Europe to teach, and then continued on to India and Vietnam. And I think by the end of that time period, it was like roughly a year and a half I had been gone from home, and was really starting to miss my family, friends, and dirt bike. I have a very deep love affair with my dirt bike. It's hard to describe, but I absolutely love the machine.
It's always funny you describing your relationship with your dirt bike.
It is serious.
Have you ever like thought about starting something with dirt biking? Like something educational or something like that?
Not really. No, I haven't given much thought to it. At this moment in time, I'm trying to figure out a way for me to just have an honest career and make an honest living and one that's going to be satisfying and fulfilling, yet also provide the quality of life that I would like to see for myself and a family. I'd really like to have a family, and that's also something I realized when I was abroad. Like, I don't want to just travel for the rest of my life. There's more to life than just seeing different things and meeting new people. While it was good for that time period, it was awesome for that time period. I feel like I would gain a lot out of life by creating a family.
Because like you took that jump, like you do what most people dream about doing, about traveling the world. Huh.
I'm glad I did it, without a doubt, and I did it at the right time too. It wasn't, you know, it was it was good. It was I knew it. I knew I needed to go at that time period if I was going to try it. That was the time. I'm glad I took it.
But if somebody would ask you what your chapter 1 comic book, like if you were a comic book character, how would you describe like your origin story? Like, who is John O'Grady? I probably should ask you this in the beginning, but since this is like I'm learning it as we go, I'm gonna ask you now.
Sounds good. Okay, so chapter 1, origin story of a comic book character. Is that right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Like,
okay.
Who is John O'Grady? For people who don't know.
Well, John O'Grady is a classic American Boy Scout from the farm fields of Indiana.
That is so true, though. Okay, keep going. Keep going. I like this.
All right.
Born and raised in Indiana.
Born and raised in Indiana. Grew up working hard with the family business. Created my own business with my brother. Started cutting a lot of grass.
Family business. Your dad owns gas station.
Yes.
And Your mom's substitute teacher?
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, she used to teach French and German, and now she's a substitute teacher.
okay. Oh, she was like a full-time teacher beforehand.
Beforehand, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think she's just taking a back seat now. She's like, both of my parents are like half retired, if not mostly retired.
Huh.
And yeah, they're like
So,
55 or 56 now.
so growing
but
up, your dad had the gas station. That was like his main thing. The gas station.
yeah, he started out in the corporate world and then got into oil and gas, and then found a good opportunity to buy this gas station, and then bought it, and worked it for like 21 or 22 years before leasing it out. And so now my dad leases it out, and he likes that a lot more because he can just kind of be retired. You know, you can just kind of retire.
It's less pressure. They don't need the business.
I'm glad he is too, because he was really stressed when he was running that business, and you know, business takes a lot out of you. But he's done really well, and I'm glad that he gets to enjoy his time now.
That's good. Yeah, I've had the white hairs now that I've helped with the family business here.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, yeah, I can't believe I'm having like 3 or 4 white hairs, gray hairs. Mm-hmm. I'm like, what? But they say it's because of stress or whatnot. But it's interesting. Okay, keep going with the origin story.
Family business, helped out a lot there. Every Saturday and Sunday, my brother and I were helping out there. You know, whatever we could, whether it be taking out the trash, helping with odd tasks around the station. Sometimes we would get our hands on some power tools. My brother and I would be cutting up metal and then welding it back together. And yeah, we just got all sorts of experience in all sorts of different directions. And I really kind of miss that. That was a lot of fun to just work with my hands every day. I've been thinking about that too recently. Like with my coding boot camp, I keep thinking like, oh man, I just love to work outside with my hands. Like, but yeah, you know, maybe someday.
There you go.
Story. Back to the origin story. I digress. So I grew up in the farm fields of Indiana. Was heavily involved with the Boy Scouts of America. Learned a lot from that. Went out camping and really fell in love with adventure with the Boy Scouts, and adventure and camping and just being outside, and my appreciation for nature.
You're an Eagle Scout.
Yeah. Yes, I are both. That's such a fun thing to say and talk about and reminisce upon. So.
Your brother's also an Eagle Scout, right?
Yes. Yes, he is.
And you got a tattoo of an Eagle Scout.
Yeah, I do.
Show your tattoo. Show your tattoo.
Can I take my shirt off?
You have anything underneath your shirt? Under your sweater?
Yeah, I have like an Under Armour shirt underneath this, so it'd be hard to get a hold of.
Man, next time then.
Yeah. Hey, Grandpa.
Oh, your grandpa. It's so cool. But that's gonna be you.
What's that?
That's gonna be you in what? How many years?
Hopefully.
Hey. 1 or 2?
2. 2 sounds great.
Right.
You want to come say hi to my friend Angel?
Oh, sure.
My grandpa will say hi real quick.
Grandpa O'Grady.
I've been teaching him all about code and computers.
Hello, Angel. How are you?
How's it going? Good. How are you?
I'm doing good, too. Yeah.
It's good.
We're keeping an eye on this guy.
Right? That's good. Make sure he stays out of trouble, right?
Yeah. He's doing well.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. I heard that he's learning how to code. It's good, too.
I get that, yeah.
Learning how to code.
Oh, yes, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Good skill.
Definitely. A lot of computer skills nowadays.
Okay. Well, good seeing you.
Good seeing you, too.
See you after bed.
Sounds good, Grandpa.
He's got corn in his hand.
Yeah, we eat a lot of corn. Yeah, so we'll eat the corn and then like some soup or something, and we'll make like a crock pot and mix in all sorts of food with that too. It's really good. It's healthy. It's delicious. That's another part of my Indiana origin story. Corn. Boy, do we eat a lot of corn. Love it.
Born and raised in West Lafayette, Indiana.
Yes.
All the way up to college.
I'd love to get out to the mountains here someday. Indiana will always be home, but my heart belongs to the mountains for sure.
When did you start your lawn mowing business?
Late middle school. I think I was in 8th grade.
If you're, and you just were like,
6th grade. And we started passing out flyers that we printed out off our dad's computer
Mhm.
to all of our neighbors. And we were like, hey, we'll cut your grass for $20. And a few people called us. Yeah. We got some
what made
business.
you want to like start it? You just want to make
My-
money.
My foreign neighbor didn't know how to cut their grass. So I at the time was like, hey, I'll cut it for you for $20.
Uh-huh.
And they were like, yes, please. So that's where I got the idea. Like, hey, there's got to be more people that want this done. And I just took it off from there.
Oh, makes sense.
A lot of people wanted it done too. Word of mouth got around town, and Steven and I were like the local boys to have it done. You know, our price went from 20 to like 40, and we got a trailer and equipment, and we were doing a lot of business on the weekends. We were spending the vast majority of our weekends cutting grass. Saving. It was
So,
a really good time.
So all the kids were just like hanging out. You guys were in your business working.
Yes.
Huh.
Most of the time.
And you just kept going just to make money and whatnot.
Yeah. We realized we were onto something good there, and especially for the time, the value of our time was really good. We were paid very well for our time, much more so than if we were to have a job working at like Jimmy John's or Subway, which I did also. I worked at Subway, and then I worked at Jimmy John's as a delivery driver in college. And I would work that on Tuesday and Thursday evenings from about 5 to 10, just for some side cash, and mostly just for riding my bike and staying fit and healthy. That was a lot of fun, but lawn mowing paid way better.
I can only imagine. And then plus the write-offs of owning your own business. You could write off anything.
Yep. Yeah, we did. Write them all off. Taxes.
What was like the most weird thing that you wrote off? Like something odd that you wrote off for taxes.
The first thing that comes to mind is material that we used for landscaping projects. So we did a lot of various projects around different homes, like landscaping projects in the springtime, and whether it be like building a fence or creating a new garden or whatnot. Like we would do all sorts of different odd jobs around the house, and we never did any painting. It was mostly outside work. We did do some moving though. Some old lawn mowing customers wanted us to help move heavy furniture at one point, so we did that for a few bucks, but that wasn't very fun or satisfying. Cutting the grass was satisfying though, because you could like start with a project that needed to get done, and at the end look back over it and say, I just did that, and see the finish.
I told you when parents own apartments, I would also do like their maintenance for them during high school. So like mow the lawn for like 4 hours.
I remember you talking about
on the machine. That wouldn't take into account the weed cutting that had needed to be done. That'd take like a whole day. That was insane. But one time I decided to like, I thought I could multitask, and decided I could get tanned while cutting the grass. Brilliant idea, right? So I took off my shirt when I was mowing the lawn, and I did it for like 2 hours. And that night, I got so sunburned that like I would wake up and like take a cold shower, because I would not I couldn't sleep with a burn in my back with like the sunburn.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was not a great idea. Don't go on the sun for 2 hours with no sunscreen. I don't know why that was a good idea.
A good experience to learn from, for sure.
Definitely. Don't be out in the sun for 2 hours without sunscreen, especially during the summer. Yeah.
It'd be nice if it was foggy, wouldn't it? If it was like maybe like a little bit cloudy, it'd be like hot and everything. You could take your shirt off then, but when the sun is baking down on you, then it's good to have some sun protection there. Steven and I used to wear like long sleeves sometimes and gloves when we were out mowing. We'd get really sweaty. It'd be just soaked with sweat, but it would protect our skin a little bit better from the sun.
Yeah.
But our noses and our ears, we would still get those would get hit by the sunrays a lot. So yeah, I don't know.
My dad also used to own lawn mowing business as well in California, and he would do that long sleeves because protects you from the sun.
Mm-hmm.
And people who don't know about that are like always confused. Like, wouldn't you want like short sleeve shirts? It's like no, because that doesn't protect you from the sun.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so all high school lawn mowing business, Eagle Scout, then college hits. Why do you choose Purdue?
It was in my backyard, and I could continue to mow grass while going to college.
Makes sense. And you didn't live with your parents your first year in college, didn't you? You moved in to...
I moved in from Mary Quad.
Yeah. With Mark Sandy.
Yep.
I think it's crazy how small the world is. Because, you know that year we both pledged, and then like the following semester we both moved in the house, fraternity house. Mark actually met my ex-roommate, who my ex-roommate met Mark, and we're like, you guys are both the same because both of your roommates left you to go into the fraternity house.
Yeah.
They're both bitter about it. We're like, what can you do?
I mean, they should room together,
Yeah, but it wasn't until like years later that they met.
Oh,
I was like, he's my roommate that I left to go to the house. He's like, well, I'm his. Yeah. We both left them to go into the house.
That was a good time, man. Remember painting our room? We got that little corner room that nobody wanted. We got in there.
Why did nobody want that room?
Because it was crappy. It was everything with the ceiling was falling apart.
Really?
What the carpet was. We had like some old wood or something. That was just not a good room. And then like 2 years later, they renovate the whole house and it looks beautiful.
Add in what, $3 million into the house?
Yeah.
It's insane how much money goes into the house.
Yeah, it really is.
But that's another thing I want to get better at doing, like telling stories about the past life. Like how we painted the room. Looking back at it, it was a shitty room, but I didn't see that at the time. I saw it as I'm moving into the house ahead of everybody else and just enjoying it. That was fun. Living with what, 40 guys, 50 guys, 60?
Yeah, right around there. That was a really good time. Fond memories.
Yeah. I wonder what's happening. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
What are you up to nowadays? I haven't had a chance to come and visit you since I got back.
I'm mostly just working the family business. I'm currently still building the other construction site since we currently lease. Our landlord raised the rent prices, so we don't like that. So that's why my dad started looking for places to buy, like property. Found an empty property on the main road we're on right now, and he's starting to build it. He thought it would take 3 months to build and complete it.
Nice.
It's been a year and probably 5 months. So it did not take just 3 months to build.
I hear you.
But looking at hopefully completing it around February.
Awesome. That sounds really good.
We just don't want to move we're planning on moving in February just because if it gets done beforehand, we can't move because we'll probably take off we'll have to close 4 or 5 days to move all the products.
Okay.
And just can't lose that kind of money for 4 or 5 days during the holiday season. So February is when it slows down, and we'll do that. And I've just been working here, CrossFitting, also doing a lot more TikTok and just like social media. Also doing trying to do like daily videos for the store.
That's
And
really
hopefully
good.
once we move, we'll get the liquor license, so we'll sell beer and wine.
Good.
And we actually recently got competition from another Mexican store, well, the city next to us. Opened up,
Interesting.
yeah. And so,
Have you gone in there and
no.
said, "Hey, what's up?"
A funny story. Since we own the one in, it's like West Lafayette and Lafayette, right? Urbana and Champaign. So that right next to each other. So let's
yeah.
say, their cities are right next to each other. We're in one city. Our uncle is in the next city, right next to it. So
Mhm.
they got the competition, and the competition actually got one of their butchers. Um, and what's it called? And it's now working for the competition. So uncle's not too happy about that. But it is what it is.
It is what it is.
But hopefully I think we're doing good so far. We've been here for 6-7
Yeah.
years.
Sure. You guys have a solid customer base built up by now, I'm sure.
Yeah,
It's really good.
for sure. And we have U of I, but students from U of I don't usually shop here. They
Okay.
usually come in when it's the beginning of the year and the end of the year, when their parents come around.
Gotcha.
I don't think they cook that often, or if they do, they go to like the big stores, like supermarkets, where it's very cheap and easy to make stuff.
Gotcha.
Like your brother reminds me of what they would buy, like frozen stuff,
Uh-huh.
ready to go.
Easy.
Either that or like fast food places,
Yep.
because it's easy and it's fast, convenience.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sums up my life, literally. Oh, did I tell you I got 110,000 fans on TikTok? So now I'm like growing on there. It's kind of funny.
Okay, so what is TikTok? I'm not really sure.
Wait, do you remember what Vine was?
Sort
No.
of. I remember the name, but I don't remember being
Okay,
really.
Vine was 6 seconds videos, like a social media website.
Oh,
So
okay.
TikTok, it started off with 15-second videos, which they started off with lip singing, but it was called Musical.ly beforehand. And last year they got bought by another Chinese-based company, and now it's 15-second videos. They're trying to like broaden their horizon with not just music videos or lip singing videos. So
Mhm.
they're just including everything, and it's been the number one downloader app for some months now, and
Hmm.
it's still like top. It's up there. Like currently, you see the App Store. It might be. It's third right now. So in the top charts, it's number 3, higher than Instagram, YouTube, and Snapchat and Facebook. So it's like up there.
Do you like it?
Yeah, it's interesting. It's funny because it's a bunch of kids. It's like teenagers, and then it's slowly grow. Some adults are on it, but the
Okay.
adults are on it. There's a famous dentist, a famous lawyer, a pizza guy that are on it, and they've gone viral.
Dude, I can barely keep up with Facebook and Instagram. I couldn't do it all.
I've actually, since I posted so much on TikTok, I've cut back on Instagram and Snapchat, and now I'm trying to post daily on YouTube.
Daily. Wow. You
Yeah,
have to come
but
out with a lot of content here.
yeah,
What's the main focus on your YouTube channel? Tell me about that. Is this like geared towards a specific target audience or target market? And are you trying to provide any value to your viewers?
right now I went for entertaining just because it's easier. I would want to do later on business, but I feel like I'm not experienced enough to actually give business advice,
That'll
unless
come
it's
in time.
like free marketing advice that like I've done, like Facebook, or I thought a good one was a marketing company came in and offered their services, which was like take a virtual tour, 360 photos. It ranged from like 500 to 1,000, their price range, for
Mhm.
anywhere from 5 360 photos to 15. And I was like, it was interesting everything they said, but like I could do that for free, in which you could do it for free with Google 360. It gives you an option to do 360 photos on your phone, and so that's something I would give out with that channel. But I feel like I need more experience in the business side to do a business channel.
Okay.
So right now it's just entertaining of what's it like for a 26-year-old guy working for his family business and making TikToks on the side.
Sure.
And TikToks right now are mostly just dancing videos or comedy.
That sounds good. Well, I'm sure that if you keep producing content and just kind of keep putting stuff out there for people to see, like, your name and reputation will continue to grow and build. Like it's like a numbers game almost with like probably a time factor too, I can imagine. But I've been thinking about doing the same thing, So I've got a ton of videos from Steven and I riding dirt bikes together on our GoPro. And I'm thinking about trying to find a way to compile some of like, maybe either the crashes or the jumps or just some really fun flowing single track. But, I'd love to put together like a video and just share it with the world. And it's kind of like a way to document too. Like maybe someday my kids and grandkids will look up on YouTube like, oh, hey, this was, a relative of mine riding dirt bikes.
Right. That's the best thing about it, because like looking back at it, if anything you gain from it, it's that. Just like family members down the road, and not just like your grandkids, but like all generations after you right now. Like,
oh yeah.
Like you're basically the beginning starting point of your family name. Just because beforehand everything was lost. Buenas. Chile. Our butcher's here.
Oh, sweet. Sounds good.
He's getting some chiles.
Very nice. Work as usual.
Yeah.
Good. Work is good.
But yeah, have you thought about starting a podcast?
No, I haven't yet. Maybe someday after I kind of like decide what to do with the next decades of my life. I could always go back and talk about my experience traveling and how that kind of led me to where I am today. I feel like some people just like want to stay out there traveling forever, but I don't know. I couldn't find the fulfillment in that. It was a good experience. I learned a lot about the world and about myself and where I fit into it. This is home. I love home. It's a lot to love about home.
Definitely. It's cool. I think it's crazy how like you literally traveled the world. And they're like, I'm good now.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, like you got it out of your system and you're like, I'm good.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm good. Like that, I saw a good amount of stuff and I met a lot of people and experienced a lot of different things. And I was also gone for like a good duration of time, like enough time to make me like question myself and really like think about where I came from, like because when I went to India, boy, did I feel far away from home. And I was like, who am I? And it just being there like really made me question like who I was and where I came from and what I look like to all of the natives around me. It was a totally different world. They felt like
like a white American in the middle of India. You probably stood out as a sore thumb.
Yeah. Oh, majorly. I got so many people that came up and were like, "Oh, can I just get a picture with you? You are so unique and new to my country. I would love to share some food with you or something." People in Vietnam were so friendly too. I was invited into many homes and given food by so many locals. They were so friendly. I really enjoyed Vietnam. If I I would love to go back someday, like, down the road. That'd be a lot of fun.
What are some crazy stories you have from traveling abroad that you want to share? for everyone to listen.
So I have a lot of memories of being abroad. I've spent more than a year of my life out of this country. I spent almost 2 years of my life out of this country. Um, Riding motorcycles in Rishikesh, India was just a highlight. It was I was volunteering with a group from England
Mm-hmm.
in New Delhi, and we decided to take a weekend up to Rishikesh. So we hired a bus, and we all pulled in some money. We drove up to Rishikesh, right? We got a nice place to stay right there on the Ganges River, and we rented some motorbikes, and I was one of the ones in the group that was really confident and capable of riding a motorcycle. So
Mm-hmm.
I was piloting a lot of the time, and different people in the group would like jump on the back of my bike, and I would take them for a tour around the hills of Rishikesh, and then I would come back down into the city, and another person would hop on, and I'd take them for a tour, and I just loved being able to just ride my bike, and it just felt so free, and to be able to share that experience with someone else was a lot of fun.
Huh. Huh.
I also did yoga at like 5:30 in the morning, right on the Ganges River,
Oh.
and I tasted a lot of delicious food in India and in Vietnam. Prague didn't really have the like delicious food that Asia had, but Prague's culture and their casual lifestyle was really fun to live in and to teach around for the year that I did that.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy. 2 years outside the U.S.
Yeah, almost, just about. It was wow. I can't believe like I spent that much time, but it doesn't like I came back here and I'm 26. I still feel like I have like a lot of time left.
Probably
could
4 or
do
5 more lifetimes.
right. Yeah,
Can you believe that? You've lived this far. You have 4 or 5 times that.
yep.
Yeah.
Sure. Like that's really cool to think of. Like I could do a lot of different things, and yeah, well, the opportunity's out there. We'll see what I make of it right now. I kind of just
What's
want like a decent job and start a family. It
yeah? Like
doesn't
what's
sound very exciting, but like I feel like just that would make me really happy.
Yeah, so what's the goal now for John O'Grady? Finding the one, the settling down.
Yeah. Seriously, I need to get on that. Like I'm living in my grandfather's basement. I don't have a job, no girlfriend. Like I'm gonna look back on this time period of my life and be like, okay, that was a rut. Look at where I'm at now. Like
There you go.
I'm confident that I can do good things for myself, my family, and my community. It's just a matter of time. So it'll be interesting. It'll be a good ride.
I was like, my CrossFit friends make fun of me because since I'm working for the family, I thought it was only gonna be 3 months. I'm actually living with my parents, my dad, um, and so they're like, when we go out or whatnot, they're like, what are you gonna do? Bring a girl back to your parents' place?
Yeah, good luck with that. Have fun with that.
I can imagine myself being like, yeah, I'm 26 years old. I work for the family business. I should still live with my parents. And it's like,
A lot of us our generation does that. Like I've read newspaper articles where our generation is just fine with living with our parents for the remainder of our 20s, basically because it's such an asset to have the rent and the food paid for, so that we can just save money and get like a solid foundation on our feet of finances and building the career. So
right. I think it's a smart choice, especially
yeah,
starting out.
I don't think we're not. It's not like we're 36. It's
Right.
we're just in our mid 20s.
I'm
No big
always
deal.
impressed by people who don't do that, but like go the other way, go the other extreme, going for like that luxurious apartment, which they probably can't afford because they're barely starting out.
There are so many people in debt. Like so many people like take out loans to buy real nice cars and like nice clothes and look like they have a bunch of money, but really they're in debt up to their eyeballs.
Yeah, and we've had a good economy right now.
Yeah, a lot of jobs out there. That's for sure.
I actually remember some people who like recently graduated who bought a car and then like are already selling it. But I guess to teach their own.
Mm-hmm.
if they can afford it or not.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, talking of debt, like the student loan debt is actually like so high. It's like second to mortgages or something in the U.S. Like college costs so much money to go to, man. Like that's a whole nother debate. Like besides just you and me talking, catching
Uh,
up, like we could go on for a good time period on student
would
loan debt and why college is so expensive in the U.S.
definitely. Well, I feel like for a lot of people, it's not.
One second. Sounds good, Grandpa. I'll be up in a few minutes. That was my grandpa letting me know. He's got some corn going. We typically watch the news at this time period, so we that's like our thing together. I'll come
Uh-huh.
back from the coding boot camp and learning, and I'll eat some food with him and watch the news, and we'll talk about what's going on.
Okay.
I digress.
You said you watch Joe Rogan's podcast. What other podcasts do you watch? And it's mostly
Yeah.
entertainment or educational.
Educational. I'm not. I've tried listening to a few comedians, and sometimes they got some funny jokes, but most of the time I don't get much out of them. If I'm reading books or listening to podcasts, they're usually self-help, like informational things
Uh-huh.
that actually can be applied to your daily life.
Uh-huh.
Things that I like to listen and read things that have value, like provide value, and that's where I'm saying with the YouTube channel, like I would recommend attempting to provide value in one form or another to your viewers because that will entice them to not only watch longer for more time, but to continue coming back to your channel.
Definitely. Another thing would be like entertainment. It's also a form of value some people enjoy.
Yeah, absolutely it is.
But the thing is, you got to be actually like entertaining, which
Yeah,
is a learning curve to that.
there is. That's a whole other like industry.
Okay. Have you?
Yeah. So, Order of Man. It's basically just like a podcast for being a man in this world. NPR news channel. Dirtbag Diaries. I've got some ultra running podcasts on here, just about running really long distances. I just ran the Chicago Marathon. I'm running another marathon, the Indy Monumental Marathon in early November here, and I'm feeling really good and really strong physically and mentally. And I'm thinking about signing up for like a either a 50 miler or a 100 miler next fall. And I would just
Dang.
training through the winter and the spring and the summer and sign up for a few more races and just like make sure that I'm like pretty good to go and just yeah, I'm not expecting to finish with a great time because I'm not a fast runner. I don't finish great times with the marathons. I ran the last one in 4 hours and 30 minutes. It's not bad, but it's definitely not speedy. So
Hey, you did
but
it.
what I get out of it is just moving my body through nature and being really active for a long period of time and challenging myself. Like the marathon, personally, wasn't really that challenging.
Mm-hmm.
It was I didn't really run it as fast as I could. Um, I just kind of coasted and took my time with it, which is just how I like to run. And I'd really like to challenge myself on a greater scale and really attempt something that is hard for me to wrap my mind around at this point. A marathon for me was a good experience, but it wasn't like I had to really push myself to complete it. It just I knew I was going to finish. There wasn't any doubt in my mind.
Right.
But I'd really be interested in signing up for a longer race. Maybe I'll talk to you about that at another point in time. Another podcast I have here is called the Rich Roll podcast.
Rich Roll podcast.
Yeah, and
Have you heard of
what's that?
Have you heard of Gary V audio experience? Gary V.
No, I haven't.
He's like another business guy. I think you might enjoy him.
Okay.
Because he provides a ton of value of just like marketing skills and like the whole internet, and he's just really optimistic, and then practical as well, like
Yeah.
practical optimism.
Nice.
Any chance? Do you know of David Dobrik or no?
No, doesn't ring a
YouTube
bell.
channel. He also has another one with another comedian. Views. Like that's if you go for that comedian stuff. He's like a big YouTuber, like 23. Literally makes millions of dollars. He started off with Vine and went into YouTube, and now just like a
Wow.
podcast and YouTube. And yeah,
Hardcore.
his podcast is funny, and
Good.
then the Gary Vee one's like educational.
Oh. That's a like good combination of the two, you know.
Right. All right, John. I'm gonna let you go, but thank you for this. I'm gonna see how. Hopefully, I learn from this and like keep going with it.
I hope you do too. Thanks for having me on. It's always great to catch up with you, Angel.
You too, man. We need to catch up some more. Hopefully,
Sounds good to me.
later. I'll text you or something.
Sounds good. I'll let you know if I can swing by.
Boom. Sounds good. Thanks, man.
All
All right.
right.
I'll see you later.
Later.
Bye.
Bye bye.
How do you close this?